Welcome to my second episode of Let's Talk West Indies Cricket podcast. I would like to thank everyone who has given me wonderful feedback on how I can progress the show. I'm looking forward to implementing some of those feedback in future episodes. Today, I'm going to talk about West Indies' performance in the warm up match. We're going to take a look at that. We're also going to take a look at um, some news surrounding West Indies and what's going to be taking place in the region. We're going to talk briefly about the women hosting Bangladesh, which starts on Sunday. But without further ado, let's get right into it. We're going to begin with giving you a rundown of the practice match between West Indies and Pakistan. Well, in that warm up game, the match was drawn, and there were some promising performances by the West Indies batsmen and bowlers. Nothing to shout about, really, apart from one individual. But before I get into that, if you're not yet aware, West Indies was able to score 346 runs in the first innings with a loss of 8 wickets. And in the second innings, they were able to score 177 runs. Pakistan, in the first innings, was only able to score 212 runs, so that was a good bowling performance by West Indies there. However, in the second innings, Pakistan pretty much dominated but didn't have enough time. They went after the bowling, so some of our bowlers got taken advantage of. They were able to get to 128 for the loss of 2 wickets before the game was called off. And they were chasing a target of 312 runs. So who were the promising players from that warm-up game? And we know it's just a warm-up. It's nothing to shout about. But, we in the West Indies, we know how it is. We're going to look for the good moments wherever we can find it. And one of the players that stood out in this game is none other than Alec Afanese. Alec Afanese put on an incredibly good performance. He scored 99 runs in the first innings. Got out just before he was able to get to his 100. And that has been an issue with Alec. He's been struggling whenever he gets to the 90s, and hopefully he will be able to overcome those nervous 90s. I think, if my memory serves me right, that's probably the third or fourth time he's gone into the 90s since he made the West Indies squad and not being able to go to score that 100. He also scored 58 not out in the second innings, which means that he's carrying his form into this from one inning to the next, which is a positive sign. Remember, in my previous episode, I said that one of the cricketers that I was a bit disappointed with in 2024 was Alec Afanese. He did not live up to his potential. Hopefully, 2025 is the year that Alec Afanese put on a show for us and demonstrate that level of consistency that we need. Other batsmen that showed promising signs were Amir Django. He scored 63 not out in the first innings, although he took a first ball duck in the second innings, but that's okay. And in another batsman, Tevin Imlak, who's been around the team but have not been able to play because he's on the squad as a replacement wicket keeper. And because the other wicket keeper which is the vice captain of the squad, has been around for a little while. A lot of confidence has been put into him in order for him to show some level of performance and consistency. But we all know that last year he did not perform well, and I think this would be a good time for West Indies to give someone else an opportunity to see if they can handle the international pressure. This is not to say that he's gonna be dropped, but it's just to say let's take a look in, especially if because Tevin has been able to deliver in this warm up game, so um, he was able to get a 50, he got 57 in the second innings, and he did so in quick time. He took him only 65 balls to get there. So I'm curious about this, and I would definitely I'm looking forward to seeing him in that squad, hopefully. On the bowling side of things, Kevin Sinclair was the outstanding performer. He took 3 wickets, albeit he only bowled in the first innings. Other standout bowlers were Jaden Sales. He took 2 wickets in the first innings. Getakesh Moti also took 2 wickets in the first innings, and Warwick took 2 wickets in the second innings. So those were the main wicket takers for West Indies in that warm-up game. As you can see, not many wickets were taken. The wickets were pretty much shed across some of the bowlers. And another thing, 3 of the wicket takers there are spinners, and that will tell you what will happen in Pakistan. West Indies will have to come strong and be prepared to face a lot of spin bowling. And we all know that West Indies have struggled in the past when it comes to spin bowling. So it's important for West Indies to go out there and be positive against the barrage of spin bowling that I suspect they will be facing in Pakistan. Having said that, who will I choose for the team? How how will the team look, especially as two of our fast bowlers who are very good we could consider wicket taking bowlers in the name of Azari Joseph and Sharma Joseph. Both of them will be absent for this tour. Who will we rely on to carry the team bowling wise? I've decided to go with Craig Brathwaite. Obviously, he's the captain, so he plays. And I am torn between who will be opening the batting, and I've not been able to make a decision between Alec Afanese and Amir Django. Right now, I'm giving it to Afanese, given that he has more experience at that level, and we would need a player that can handle the spin for a long time. And Afanese has shown his ability to handle spin, and probably why he's doing well in Pakistan right now. Okay, and the batsman I have to come one down would be Casey Carty, followed by Kavim Hodge. Kavim Hodge, whilst he did well last year, towards the latter part, his form has been dipping. So I'm hoping that he can revive his form and play this holding role for us at a number 4. Um, the number 4 spot should be your best batsman. I just don't think Kavim Hodge is our best batsman right now. But let's see how it goes. Hopefully, he can live up to the name of a number 4 batsman. At number 5 would be between Alik and Amer. For right now, I'm favoring Django, who's gonna, if he plays, will be making his debut and maybe coming in at that spot would ease some nerves that he may have had if he had to start batting first. So I'm going with Amir Django in that position. He's been in good form, and hopefully he can carry that form into the test match for us. At number 6, I'm going with the all-rounder Justin Greaves. And this is where I'm going to be making a change from what we've seen in the past. I'm going to replace the silver with Tevin Imlach. I like the silver, but he's he's not been in good form. His form has dipped over the past year, and I don't mind giving someone else a chance to see if they can, um, do something. Because the important thing about cricket for us in the West Indies, as far as I'm concerned, is being able to get players on the team when they are in their best moment of form. We don't have the luxury of picking and choose players from a large pool like the other competitors do. We have a small pool of players, so it's important that we capitalize on that small pool of players and get them on the team when they are in the best moments. Okay? Think of it like how a lot of businesses have been operating in the past, using a methodology called just in time delivery. Think of it of something like that being implemented within the West Indies cricket setup. Then I'm going to go with Kevin Sinclair. He can bat, he can hold a bat, and he's been doing well with the ball. So I'm going to give him an opportunity here over Gilkesh Moti. I'm going to go with Kamar Roach as one of the fast bowlers, Jomel Warrican as another spinner, and Jaden Seals as another fast bowler. So I'm going to with two fast bowlers, two spinners, and Justin Greaves will be the all-rounder. And I'm hoping that Justin Greaves will be able to maintain a proper line and length for that game. I'm expecting the pitches to be slow, so it will be important for him to maintain a proper line and length. So that's it for me with respect to West Indies cricket and where I see them going and how I expect the team to what I expect the team to look like. Also, the game is going to be played on the 16th, starting at 11:30. It's officially it's on the 17th, but that's in Pakistani time. But for us in the West, the game is gonna start on the 16th of January, which is Thursday night, and it's gonna start at 11:30 p.m. Unfortunately, they've not released who the main broadcasters of that series is gonna be. I've heard chatter that if you live in India, you could get it on fan code. I don't live in India, so I cannot test that theory. I also saw an advert from DirecTV that says that they would be showing it. So if you have DirecTV, maybe you can look into that. I don't have DirecTV, and so the other option I can think of is having to look at it online on one of those um, sites. I'm not gonna call out the name of the sites here, but I will be looking for them if I can't find it anywhere, any in other official channels. Okay, let's move on to the women. The women will be playing against Bangladesh on Sunday at 2 p.m. and that will be in St. Kitts at the Warner Park. Uh, Entry to the Warner Park will be free, so it's a Sunday. People in St. Kitts, go out there and support the West Indies women. Okay. I'm looking forward for the West Indies women to do well. It's one of the first tours with Bangladesh, so hopefully they put on a good show and make all of us proud in the Caribbean. I don't have a a lineup of what I expect for the ODI on Sunday, but I'm looking to see good performances coming from Haley Matthews, especially. Also, in regional news, Cricket West Indies announces the schedule for the championship. Okay, the schedule for the championship. Cricket West Indies announces the schedule for the championship. It says here changes to this year's championship include first innings points in drawn matches, the use of a kookaburra ball for 2 rounds, and at least one pink ball day and night fixture per team. I'm not quite sure why they're gonna be using the kookaburra ball for at least 2 rounds. What's the purpose? What are they trying to achieve here? Um, is it that they want to develop West Indies skills in with the kookaburra ball? Does the kookaburra ball deteriorate faster than other balls? Does it have a better spin component to it? What's the story here? I'm not fully sure what's happening here and why that is necessary, but hopefully you guys would know and would let me know why you think they're doing this. The tournament is scheduled to start on the 29th of January. So put that on your calendar. The matches will be live on Windies Cricket YouTube channel. Also, for those who want to keep tabs on the women's tour with Bangladesh, that those games will be played live, will be aired live on ESPN Caribbean for those who live in the Caribbean, and ESPN Plus for those who live in the US. Okay, so if you have any of those services, you will be able to see those games. Also, we have other regional news surrounding the High Performance Center. West Indies launches high performance initiatives to accelerate player and coaching development. The first two initiatives focuses on advanced batting techniques against spin bowling and enhanced spin bowling capabilities with a focus on wrist spin. The third initiative is a coaching symposium. I am in favor of this. I like the direction this is going in because let's face it, the truth is West Indies has struggled, and they have struggled heavily where spin is concerned. So I am looking for West Indies to develop their skills with respect to spin. There are a number of young players who are going to be taking part in that symposium, and I'm hoping that they will be able to show us that they have learned something from that symposium during the championship. Okay, so that's something to look forward to. There are some seasoned players in who took part in that, and there are some young players who took part in that. There are also players that I have never heard of who took part in that tournament, in that symposium. Sorry. Some of the players, if you could see this, uh, we have players like Joel Andrew, who's from the under 19. I'll be looking forward to him. I like what I saw from him. We have Teddy Bishop, Akeem Ogis, John Campbell, opening batsman, Tangerine Chanderpaul. Tangerine Chanderpaul is also in there. He definitely needs to learn how to play some spin, that's for sure, as well as John Campbell. But those are seasoned players. Uh, so they would need to learn how to play. I'm also looking at Kevin Wickham, Kirk McKenzie. These are all promising players. Nandu. Hopefully they could develop their batting skills with respect to spin. On the bowling side of things, we have Hayden Walsh Jr., we have Yannick Correa, both of which we have seen, and For the under 19 level, we have Michael McKenzie. I'm not sure if that's the brother of Kirk McKenzie. I have no idea. We also have Vital Laws on the under 19. I don't know who that player is. I've never heard of him. Brian Charles, he's been around. Joshua Bishop, yes. It'll be interesting to see how these players develop and hone their skills in the spin bowling department. So that's it basically from what I have for you in this episode. Before I close, we're gonna take a look at a video where the players discuss who they believe are the best players in with different metrics that we'll put to them. I have some opinions on that. But on the funnest side of this podcast, we're going to take a listen for those who are listening to this video.
Best batsman ever, Brian Lara.
Best in the battle of all time. Brian Lara will hate me for this, but I think Shivman Sean Paul. I play a lot with him.
I'm not a sour.
Best bowler?
Pedro Collins.
So we have Ramnur Sawan, Brian Lara, Shivnur Paul. For the best batter, let's be honest, Brian Lara was the best batsman. Okay? If you're just gonna look at best batsman within that era. But if you're gonna ask me who was the batsman that among the three that was named there that I enjoy watching the most, I'm gonna have to go with Ramnur Sawan. For me, it was Ramnur Sawan. I loved Ramnur Sawan. I look forward to watching him every time West Indies played. And for me, for that question, I'm gonna have to go with Ramnur Sawan. For the bowlers,
Got the one.
Bowler, I'll give it to Malcolm Marshall. Saw a lot of videos. No disrespect to the great men of Walsh and Ambrose, but Malcolm Marshall is very skillful.
Secretly Ambrose.
Fielder.
yeah. So the bowlers, I didn't see Marshall that Roach mentioned. Yeah, there's videos, but listen, I'm not gonna bring in persons I did not watch play into this. I'm gonna only mention persons I saw play, because when you see someone play the game, the feeling you get is different. The way you analyze that player, the connection you make with that player is different than when you're just watching some videos. Okay, so no disrespect to those who came before them, but for me, from the time I started to understand cricket and watch cricket all up to today, within the West Indies squad, my best bowler, my favorite bowler has to be Sir Curtly Ambrose. There is only one Sir Curtly Ambrose. There will never be a replica. I love this man. I enjoyed watching him bowl. His fearless attitude towards bowling. I miss that kind of bowling from Curtly Ambrose on our current squad. We just don't have any bowler close to his abilities. So for me, it's Curtly Ambrose.
I'll put Fabian Allen up there, no? Fabian Allen's pretty good.
I'll go with Dwayne Smith. He was really good.
Probably Fabian Allen. Mental toughness?
Mental toughness. Chris Gale.
So for the fielder, Fabian Allen name came there quite a bit, and he is a damn good fielder. That is true. But I will say this. I'm very confident every time the ball goes towards Fabian Allen. I'm excited. But you know what? I've never seen Fabian Allen play Test cricket. And that's where your concentration is tested. So this is not anything against Fabian Allen, but for me, from those that I have seen on this West Indies squad, Jimmy Adams would have to be my best fielder. Yeah, that would have to be my best fielder. The man was just excellent. Talking about not dropping a catch, I'm going to have to go with Jimmy Adams.
Believe it or not, thought the way he handled himself, opening the batting for West Indies, facing some of the fastest bowlers as well. I think he's mentally tough to be able to do that.
Mental toughness. Craig Brathwaite.
Mental toughness.
Craig Brathwaite.
Brian Lara.
Best ledger.
It's interesting that many of the players went for an opening batsman as a player who had was stronger mentally. I'm gonna divert from that, just like Kevin did, and I'm gonna go with Carl Hooper. I'm gonna go with Carl Hooper. Carl Hooper was exceptionally tough because he had to captain the team, he had to bowl, he had to bat, and he pretty much delivered more often than not for West Indies. And the position in which he had to come and bat, he had to be playing an anchor role. So I think he was somebody you could rely on, you could count on. He was not the big flashy, he's not going to give you 100 runs every game, but he would do the job when it was needed. So for me, with regards to mental toughness, I'm going to have to go with Carl Hooper.
Suleiman Ben.
Sledger.
Myself. Jaden Seals.
Suleiman Ben. Suleiman Ben is the biggest ledger West Indies have ever had.
So, the biggest sledger West Indies have ever had. I don't know about that. Suleiman Ben. Yeah, he couldn't bat, that's true. Jaden Seals put himself up there. Jaden Seals can bat. I won't call Jaden Seals. Well, not that he can bat, but he's not horrible. He's not the worst. I mean, sledger just swing the bat. To me, when I think of a batsman who you'd call a sledger, someone who just swings the bat. They don't really have any skill. And for me, during my time of watching West Indies cricket, that gotta go to Courtney Walsh. The man could not bat to save his life. So I'm gonna have to go with Courtney Walsh, the player who has the most ducks and the most not outs in the history of cricket. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go with Courtney Walsh on that. Thank you everyone for spending the time with me in this second episode. I really enjoyed some of the analysis and bringing this information to you and talking about it. I'm looking forward to the first test match on Thursday night. I will be watching it live as long as I'm able to get my hands on a website that will show it. So, yeah, it's going to be on Team No Sleep for me for that test series. And that's how I do it. I've always done it that way, and I'll continue to do it that way unless circumstances beyond my control interrupt that process. Thank you, everyone. See you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe and enjoy the podcast.